Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You know, we live in a very harrowing time right now. I know there's overwhelming panic and worry and fearfulness for all of us. And the field is completely leveled. You know, we're all in the same boat right now. So I just hope in a series of short videos to offer you moments of peace, of quiet, an opportunity to take a break, to give your survival response a chance to turn down and off, to just rest with breath, to remember that spring is coming, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, and there's signs of life all around. The sun is shining, we're breathing, we have community, we have a unique opportunity with technology to stay in contact, even in this time of social distancing. So I offer you this short meditation with love, with support, with understanding, and with the wish that it will give you a moment of peace today. So thank you for joining me. So let's just start by placing one hand on the crown of the head and the other hand on the heart. And just imagine for a moment that there's a door, an invisible door between your very busy and worried mind and your vast, open, spacious heart, which truly has the capacity to hold all of our fear, all of our challenges. And imagine in this moment that you can open that door and just for the next few moments, empty your mind. Just spill your thoughts and worries into the spaciousness of the heart, trusting that they'll be tended and cared for and available for you as soon as we're finished. But just to give yourself a moment of peace and rest. If you don't know or trust that your heart has this capacity, just for now, let yourself imagine that it's true. And then bring the hand on the crown of your head to the eyebrow center. And again, just for a few moments, set the intention to tune in, to turn in, to drop in, to leave the busyness of the world and come inside now. Bring the hand on your forehead down to join the hand over your heart and take just a moment to feel your heartbeat. Really tapping into how precious it is to be a living, breathing being in this moment in time. And sending out the wish that any and all good that comes of this moment of practice be of benefit to everybody, everywhere, especially those in the world who are suffering in this moment. Bless your heart and bless theirs. Let this meditation be for all of us. So relax your hands, and for just a moment, let's just check in with how we are right now. Feel your body sitting here. Rather than judging or criticizing the body, just take this opportunity to feel what it literally feels like inside to be you. Not judging, not criticizing, not wishing for another way of being, but just tapping into the truth of this moment. Feeling your feet on the ground and your body against the chair. Noticing if you're able to give your weight into the chair, or if you are in this potential sense of needing to run away and do the next thing, to hide, to escape, to hurry, as is so familiar. But for just this moment, see what happens if you decide to surrender. If you imagine that your sitting bones are like the roots of a tree that you can extend down through the seat of your chair, through the floor of the building in which you sit. Imagine those roots going deep and wide into the earth until they come into contact with the very heart of Mother Earth herself. And as you breathe in, just imagine breathing up that support, that love. Again, if you can't find this place or don't know this place, let yourself imagine what it might be like to be so safe and so supported that you could relax for at least a moment. And from that place of being planted and supported and held, just let your awareness drift through the body and take note of any places that are holding on to tightness or tension, aches or pains. Notice the part of the body where you know your stress tends to show up or get stuck. And just tap in with curiosity rather than judgment or fear, being willing to see what is already so and to hold and tend yourself. Take a moment to notice any part or parts of the body that in this moment are clearly asking you for extra care, attention, or healing. And do take note of any other part or parts that for a reason known or not seem to not be there, as if they're distant or disconnected or don't belong to you. Just let yourself gather the information that your body is willing and able to give. And then stop thinking about what you've learned and see what happens if you just drop in. If you literally come to your senses, not thinking about the body, but feeling the position of the body in space, the movement and temperature of air around the body, the sensation of your clothing, the weight and position of your hands. Just drop in. And then take a moment to tune into breath. This amazing and precious thing which we all share. We speak of taking a breath, but this breath is not ours. It's given to us. It's a gift. Every single breath is a gift. Another moment to live. And yet we so often take that for granted. So for now, take a moment to appreciate the fact that you have been given the gift of breath. Realizing deeply that in each moment, somebody somewhere breathes out and not back in. Tapping into the preciousness of this gift. Noticing where breath is the most alive for you. Maybe it's deep in the belly, perhaps it's high in the throat. Maybe you don't notice breath at all. It's all okay. Just notice what's true. Now, if you're able to stay present to more than one breath, let yourself notice and rest in the natural pause that lives between breaths. We're much more accustomed to running away from space, but let yourself rest there. And when that next breath comes, let yourself welcome it as the gift that it is. Take it in deeply and completely with gratitude. Feel it infusing every single fiber of your being. And when it's time to let it go, open and release with no regret. Just for a moment, watch yourself being breathed. And finally, as we begin our moments of meditation, take note of what's on your mind. Just notice the thoughts that you've brought here today. Aware of all the worries and plans and expectations that are rolling around in there like a hamster on a wheel. Notice if you can notice or if it's just too overwhelming. Perhaps you'll have a sense of grabbing onto some thoughts and holding on to them. Perhaps you'll have a sense of pushing others away or trying to escape. See if for a moment you can just watch what's on your mind. And of course, if that is truly overwhelming, perhaps you'll like this metaphor that's very useful to me. I like to imagine that my thoughts, my out of control thoughts, are like droplets of water in a waterfall. And I might feel in this moment like I'm drowning in a deluge of thoughts, as if I were standing right under the full force of a waterfall. But the waterfall itself offers us another idea, another option. And that is to step behind the waterfall, to distance yourself just slightly from your thoughts in the same way that you might stand behind a roaring waterfall. Let yourself take a seat behind the waterfall of your thought. And from this perspective, with this social distancing, if you will, you can see what's going on there. You can see more clearly which things are provocative and hooking and drag you into worry. You can see the many thoughts that come and go that don't seem to have any import. You can see the things that are continuing to recur. But just for now, take a seat behind the waterfall of your thoughts and cultivate the attitude of the witness. And so for now, set the intention to just be here as you are for the next few moments of practice, letting go of the notion that something else should be happening. Using this as an opportunity to practice meeting your life exactly as it is, because this moment is just like this, and it is truly the only moment that you can ever be sure you have to live. So allowing a sense of deep, deep gladness for this pause from the busyness and worry of life. Taking this moment to open your heart and mind and body, not just for those of us here, but for everybody in this world, with absolutely no exception. So a breath mudra to help us through this day. I'd like to invite you to bring your hands together, fingertips touching. This is called Hakini mudra. It is a breath mudra, but I'd like to offer it today as an opportunity to learn how to focus your attention in a way that will likely be of use to you in the coming days and weeks. Regardless of what you think, you can't do two things at the same time. Your brain can't. So let your attention focus on the sensation of fingertips touching, and you will discover it much harder to worry and much harder to control your breath. So for just a few moments, I invite you to let yourself be breathed. So close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If not, you can let your gaze fall soft and unfocused a couple of feet in front of you. Bring your full attention to the sensation of fingertips touching. And just let yourself be breathed. Now, do not be alarmed if your mind immediately wanders, because that's what it will do. This is an opportunity, though, to train your mind to do something else. One of the things that you may not know or remember is that you always get to choose what gets your attention. So when your mind runs away, when you get lost in thought or sound or sensation, rather than judging or criticizing yourself, choose to be delighted that you noticed. It's a big deal to have that amount of power, to choose what gets your attention. So this is an opportunity to train the mind to stay. So it's not a problem to wonder, it's an opportunity. Every time your mind runs away, bring it back. This moment has never happened before. It will never happen again. So you can always start fresh. Nothing matters at this moment but the sensation of fingertips touching one another, watching yourself being breathed. Now release the first four fingers and leave just the pinkies touching. Just this moment, just this breath. Now release pinkies, let the ring fingers touch. Remembering no matter how many times you get lost in thought or sound or sensation, it's no big deal. You don't have to keep track. But when you notice, remember that you get to choose and just come back. Come back over and over and over to the only moment you can be sure of. We're training the mind to stay. Now release ring fingers, bring the middle fingers together. Just this moment, just this breath. And if your mind wanders 1,000 times, hooray, bring it back 1,000 times. We truly are training the mind. Release middle fingers now and let the index fingers touch. Just this. Now release index fingers and let the thumbs come together. Noticing whatever you do with full attention, coming back again and again to the sensation of fingertips touching. And so add the index fingers back now. Add the middle fingers. Add the ring fingers. And then the pinkies. And take a moment to notice your experience of the full breath right now. Has it changed at all since you sat down? The speed, the depth, the ease, or struggle? Or maybe just your awareness of being alive and being breathed? And if you sat down here with us today with tension or tightness in your body, notice if that's the same or if it's eased at all. And take a moment to notice if there's any change at all in your mind. The number of thoughts, the kinds of thoughts, the spaces between your thoughts. Just check in. And then allow your ears to hear the words from this poem by David White called Enough. Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to the life we have refused again and again until now. Until now. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope this serves. Take gentle care. Be kind and compassionate to everybody because we're all suffering now. With so much love, I'll hope to see you again soon. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, I'll put my email address or my contact information just below the video. Take good care.